I'm Rosie.
And I'm Pablo.
And I'm Amanda.
And you are watching Unhinged, a doll collector podcast. But I don't think we're really talking about like dolls so much today. A little bit, but
Amanda, what are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about AI and art.
So controversial.
I mean, it's so controversial that Amanda's headphones did not want us to speak about this topic for 5 minutes. So
The AI was like in Ariel, like
it was like, you're a
AI
robot. We're all robots.
That's right. Just a robot today.
Just a robot. Oh my gosh. Okay, so AI and art. This is something I think is pretty, I feel like it's been kind of an up and coming topic. I feel like we've been talking about this for a few years, but like, I feel like the last 6 months have really kind of like exploded what's been going on, which is like low-key kind of scary.
it's so funny.
We should all be scared.
I find it funny because when we decided to make this video with Amanda, it was like a couple months back, and I think none of us anticipated how AI was going to evolve. Like last week, we started to see like a lot of these like new Google Viewer's or something like that videos that look extremely realistic. And it's crazy how every week we're seeing something new. Like, I don't know if you remember, like last week, there was like this big video of 2 passengers and like in a plane and a kangaroo with a ticket.
I didn't see that.
Video?
No.
Yes,
Wow,
yes, I have.
It's so funny. Everyone was like thinking it was true. It was like a woman discussing with like someone from a plane saying that the kangaroo had a ticket to be able to play because it was like a companion kangaroo.
Yeah.
And they were like talking, and you would see like the kangaroo being sad because he had his ticket, and everyone thought it was real. It is not.
I think like I
It's
feel
so funny.
I feel like for a while it's been easy-ish to convince like older people, primarily, no offense if you're older, but a lot of older people on like Facebook. There's so much AI on Facebook, it's insane. So I feel like there's been a good period of time where just like very obviously fake photos or whatever have been passable to a certain demographic of people. And I like to the point where I've seen a whole trend of people showing their grandmas, even just Grand Theft Auto gameplay and telling them it's the news, and their grandparents are just like sobbing. Like, it's the stupidest thing. But the stuff we're seeing now is so much more convincing. And it's like, I'm seeing like millennials, Gen Z, like being like, this is real. And it's like, it's not. It's really not. Like,
Yeah. This technology has vastly improved over like the last 6 months. Like, it's incredible to see the difference between the AI that we were looking at 6 months ago to now. Like, it looks real. It could be real, and it's really hard to tell what's real and what's not, and that's the problem.
yeah. I think a good first point may be like, why don't we compare what we think about AI art versus human-made art and like the differences, or like if there is even any, like.
I feel like for the people that make art, actually, we kind of can see the difference. But as we were discussing before, for the people that may not like really have that connection with art, not like I'm the biggest artist out there, but like they don't really see that difference. I don't want to say that they don't like care that much about what's artistic and what's not, but there's definitely the sight, the view and everything. They don't have that point to be able to really know. I was discussing with my boyfriend the other day, and he was telling me that he thinks that in a couple of years there would be like movies made by real artists and real people, and movies made with art, and people would not care what kind of movie they're seeing if one of them is cheaper That makes sense.
That's, I was going to say, I think the latter might be less because it's cheaper to make.
Yeah. It doesn't need any human input. You can just throw a prompt into a computer program and all of a sudden it spits out what is essentially, AI slop. And for me, art is a creative process. It's a human process. And the reality is, for me, that AI can't create true art.
I agree.
Because art comes from creativity. It comes from human expression. It comes from a person's life experiences. And AI can only generate whatever you input into it. So it can only spit out random same things. That's essentially what it does. It mashes things together and it can't create something new, essentially. A human can think, so therefore they can create something new. AI isn't creating, it's just spitting out the same old thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, even kind of on what you guys had said 6 months ago versus now. 6 months ago, and it's still now, but I feel like the video, especially the video is what's knocking me out right now. The video,
So good.
well, I mean, first of all, 3 years ago, maybe they showed us these videos of was it, who was it? It was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air eating spaghetti.
Yes.
Right,
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And it was the dumbest thing I've ever
Will
seen.
Smith.
And I was like, this is stupid. And it was laughable at the time because it was this is only for memes. You know what I mean? This is for the jokes. Because nobody was really taking it seriously. And then the ones who were going it will be amazing. Most people were like, okay, bro, whatever. But 6 months ago, even pictures that were generated, video that was generated, it was immediately obvious. It was oh, that's better. But why is their hand like that? Why are there what's happening? Why is this the hand position? Even now though, the most of the photos that are coming out of any of these image generation need human editing. Otherwise, which defeats the purpose of just generating them because now you have to go through and fix them up for 3 hours. But if from far away, if you glance and you're like, oh yeah, that's legit, and then you zoom in, especially on people, crowds of people, and you're like, where's that person's leg? Where that person has no ear. It's it messes up so much, especially when it's got more than one subject to focus on. That it's still I can still pretty quickly pick out what's AI and what's not. But if we look at 6 months ago and how far it's gone in 6 months, and then 3 years ago, how far it's gone, what is it going to be in 6 more months? So
I know, it's wild to me.
And it is
No, you go.
it is upsetting because kind of what Amanda said to me, I just feel even as an example, a photo of a person, they're it's low-key soulless. It's dead. When art touches me, especially even photographs or art is meant to evoke an emotion. Robots don't have emotions. AI does not have emotions. It's an algorithm. It can't understand to create a feeling because it can't feel. So there's no light in the eye. The feeling isn't quite reaching the eyes. And I really don't know if it ever will because you can't, unless it becomes sentient, you can't teach a robot to feel. It can be programmed to be a person. So, and if it does, we're in the Matrix and it's over for us. So then this is all irrelevant. So
I don't know if any of you have seen if you go to cults, the 3D objects thing.
I thought you meant I joined a cult.
Not a cult. If you join a cult, you will see so many heads that low-key I feel are made with the AI. And you would see kind of an illustration made with AI. Those heads are horrible. Horrible. But between that and a well-made, well-generated doll, it's not much. I feel like we are talking about how still far AI is from the human, like whatever, but we also have to remember that all the AI generated whatever needs some human input into it.
Yes.
Like
Correct.
I was discussing, someone that came to my event last year she's of course completely out of the event this year because of this. She's now selling like pictures made with AI of blights, and she's selling those as her portraits or whatever. And she was discussing with me how she has had to make AI learn about pictures, about blights, about stuff. So there's some input put in there. What if someone puts a little bit more effort than what it's already been made, and it looks kind of more close to what a human can do?
Okay, so AI usage in the doll hobby, I think that's like a really good point. Is like, I have only really seen it so far, like the whole like cult's head thing. That's kind of news to me, but I thought we were joining a cult, so like I didn't know what was happening for a minute there.
Hey, welcome to Wagon.
Okay, I gotta say, Amanda, your voice is slightly robo. When you laughed, that was I wish I could put it on here. So like, it was the funniest laugh. It was so funny. So it's okay. It was just that I wish I could put it here so you guys could hear it. But anyways, the only real AI usage I've seen so far in the doll hobby is, weirdly, how many doll artists are like, let me animate my doll. And I'm just like,
yes.
Okay, here's the crazy thing. Pablo, you said about it needs the input. Okay, this is a community obsessed with not getting recasted. Why the are you feeding your art into the regurgitation machine for art theft? What the fuck is wrong with you? I'm sorry. Like, this pisses me off because you're going to go, don't recast my doll. And validly. But then you're going to be like, oh, but ChatGPT, not you, though. Like, it's stupid. It's stupid.
Say it louder. Say it louder, Rosie.
It's stupid. Don't do it.
It is stupid.
The other doll artist coming for me now.
Essentially, the machine that can only steal art from other artists, and it can only regurgitate what has been put into it, and therefore you putting your artwork into the machine to animate your doll poorly, by the way, because none of them look good, is essentially allowing the machine to steal your art.
Yeah, and allowing people to pass off images of your doll as their own, because people like Pablo was saying, they're saying like, oh, it's my art, this picture of this Blythe doll, and it's like, okay, but it's not. It's now you're stealing from. You're basically giving permission for other people to use images of your characters. Like, I don't know if you know that's what you're doing, but once you feed it in, that's what you've done. It doesn't belong to you anymore.
Surprise.
Surprise.
Which
I mean,
is sad.
It is really sad. It's like, I don't think people are thinking about the long-term repercussions. Because, like...
We're already seeing it.
I mean, yeah, I know, but I mean, like, the long-term ones. Like, it's just like... Where it's like, oh, this is a fun little thing to do. I don't know what the mentality is around it, like... But, like, I don't understand it personally, but, you know.
I feel like it's the same problem as always, how art is not seen as a job. Because when it comes to AI and art, people don't care. But whenever they're going to start to see how AI affects jobs and stuff, because I was sending Rosie the other day a video of Burger King already using AI in their, like, whenever you're asking for food. Of course, whenever that starts happening more, people are going to be like, oh no, AI is bad. But of course, now, since it's art, no one cares.
Well, yeah.
Correct. And while we're on the subject, Mattel has been using AI in their packaging over the past year or so. So there's a connection to the doll hobby right there. So I'm assuming they've when they did that big firing, the whole firing process, I imagine they released a lot of packaging designers in favor of AI. And so those people are losing their jobs that they worked hard for, probably got a degree for, have studied for their entire lives, that have worked hard for, have put in time and effort. And now they're just going to be pushing out like AI slot packaging. And that sucks.
It's not even just the packaging. Like, they're probably putting in for concepts, like doll concepts and everything.
I imagine that they are. And they fired a bunch of designers too, so I'm imagining that they're probably going to start using AI to design dolls. And they already have like very soulless looking we all know, we've seen her, we know Millie.
She's dead in the face.
The Barbie, the 2015 blank-faced sad girl Barbie, we've seen her. And if you think she's soulless now, just you wait because AI Millie is coming and she's going to ruin everything for everyone.
I feel like we are already seeing the effects of AI on mass production dolls companies. I don't know if you remember a couple months back when I don't know if you have followed the Wings reboot. There was like a big issue because the black character had like this kind of hairstyle and these kind of features that were the same exact as AI would make if you would describe that character. Like people put like picture over picture and it was like the same exact hairstyle. So, you know, if we're starting with that, I don't know with what we're going to end with.
Yeah, I mean, like, as far as it's impacting, it's that whole, like, what you were saying, Pablo, about, like, now that it's art, because art is notoriously undervalued. Anything that's a creative field immediately is undervalued. My thing that it's like, yeah, it's Burger King, but like, I just like the irony makes it's like, you deserve this. Not everybody, obviously, but also like, how did we not see this coming? Is like, okay, so before dolls, before art, I worked in software, content creation, copywriting, marketing strategy. It's as boring as it sounds, but it's a job that no offense to my previous employers, but you know, these like software companies are, number one, notoriously toxic to work in because software is a field predominantly white men. I like, at least here, at least the companies in North America, software companies, it is what it is. At least as far as like leadership and stuff. But anyways, the fact that it's like people in AI, like working on AI, like these companies, like I'll like name one, Shopify. Shopify is I used to work for Shopify, and Shopify used to always say like, oh, we have the world's best customer support, as an example. And they're still fucking saying that, but they have outsourced so much of, it's all ChatGPT. There's very few, like very little actual customer support happening anymore. It's ChatGPT. And it's like, how are we going like, oh yeah, Shopify's working on this AI thing and that's going to be great. And it's going to make things better for everyone. And then everyone gets laid off. And then everyone's like, sad Pikachu. And the thing is, there's no jobs anywhere. My jobs my previous jobs don't exist anymore. Like, I used to be able to apply for if I was like, wow, toxic workplace. The men are menning over here. No offense to men, but it's like the software bros are software broing. I need to get out. And I used to be able to like find a new job that paid better in like 2 months, within 2 months. It does not exist anymore. Like I've seen like exactly one content strategy job ever posted. And I was like, let me apply to it and see what happens. And, not even like an auto reply, nothing. I'm like, this is a fake posting. There's only fake postings so companies look like they're growing and hiring people. And like, but yeah, that's with dolls too. And that's where, Pablo, you said movies. There's going to be movies by real people, and there will not be movies by real people if this is the trend. They won't exist. They'll be like, because nobody will have the money, because nobody can even get a second job to fund this like passion project. If no one has time, or like if we're all working like labor jobs so we can afford a lump of sawdust bread. I don't know. This is like my dystopian future I'm picturing, okay? Like our lump of sawdust bread. and are like,
We're not far from it.
right? And
We're not.
it's crazy, but like, it sounds insane. I feel like a conspiracy theorist every time I'm like, this is the future. And I'm like, I just have pattern recognition skills. Like, I just.
You're completely right.
Same. I mean, I feel the same way, honestly. I'm already a cog in the wheel of American capitalism, and I can't get out of it. All I do is work. 100% of the time, I'm always working on something to make money so I can afford the house that I live in.
Right?
And to keep food in my stomach, and also, of course, support my biological daughter, my dog.
Yeah.
And so it's just like already sort of like there's no time for fun. There's no time for enjoyment.
No.
And what I really want from AI is to come into my home, clean my dishes, clean my house, do my laundry, so I can sit down and make the art that I enjoy making.
I've even
I
said
feel
this.
like we're just... Sorry.
You go. I've talked a lot.
So, no, I'm actually talking aloud on this podcast. I am usually like the one, yes. Meryl always like laughs at me because of that. Anyways, I feel like what you're saying ties a lot with the fact that, and this is something that we have already discussed before, how AI would be a good tool for us to be more like focused on things that, like we're still working, we still got our jobs, but our life value is not like this. Like, we can enjoy life more, but it's not taking over our jobs.
Yes.
What we're seeing all these corporations doing is like they're taking off our jobs, they're making us poorer, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And they just don't care. And the worst part about this is seeing all these people that are going to get deployed or are already deployed being like pro AI.
I know.
And
It's
stuff,
so
and
stupid.
It's kind of like
100%.
when a poor people is conservative or something like that. It's like, are you out of your mind or something like that?
Yeah. It's the whole, like, I think, again, I heard someone say one time, and they said, but it was somebody, it's always somebody, it's because I can't remember people, but it was like about how people in North America especially all think that they're a little hard work away from being a billionaire, so they all defend the billionaire class because they think that that could be them one day. But here's like wow, this is Rosie gets political, but there are no ethical billionaires. You cannot be a good billionaire. You can only be a billionaire by exploiting people and by like being terrible. So like if you think you're 5 minutes from being a billionaire or like one good idea, you're wrong. Because those billionaires will squash you. That's why new businesses you don't see it. And all these businesses, you're like, oh, it's a new business. No, it's 3 businesses in a trench coat. There are 3 businesses in Canada. There are 3 businesses in America, and they run everything. And if you think you're going to become a billionaire, you're wrong. And stop defending them.
Absolutely correct.
If we stopped defending billionaires and like giving them attention and money, they'd be done. It'd be done for them, and we could like be people who got to like enjoy art and do what we loved and be able to afford food and a house, and like that is all.
But bringing this topic back around to AI and art, a person who is willing to exploit people, step on people's toes to get to the top is a person that lacks empathy and therefore has a hard time understanding what good art is, right? And so good art is full of a person's heart and soul, and therefore a person like a billionaire, a person of that breed, that style, probably just thinks that the AI art is just as good as people art because they don't understand the connection between the human being and the art. That's my opinion on that topic, my controversial opinion.
Yeah. I think something I've said before, too, is, I think I actually said this. I did an update video a while ago, and it was like, I can't remember what they called it. It was something about, like, tariffs and blah, 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 but it was like, let me just rant about how upset I am about this situation. And I had said something like, when we undervalue art, and like don't consider it real and won't pay people for it, what we're saying is that like the long-term effect, and this is the same long-term effect for AI, is if you don't support real artists and you're using this AI slop and all this, what you are saying is that the only people, like the long-term effect of this, right, is that the only people who will ever be able to make art or be able to pursue art is the ruling economic class. It's the rich people. Because no one else, everyone else will be essentially work slaves. Like,
yeah. And the fact of the matter is, the ruling class, a lot of the ruling class don't have the capacity to make good art anyway.
Yeah. And that whole like AI is progressing art, or it's a tool. We can get into like how it could be a tool very soon, but how it's being used is not a tool. How it's being used is in a way. Okay, the conversation for me is under capitalism, which is the issue here, is under capitalism, there is no innovation. All capitalism is let's make it as cheap as possible, as fast as possible, and charge as much as possible. Under that pressure cooker, nothing new happens. Have you noticed how fast technology and everything, art and beauty and like science was progressing for a while, and then we're hitting welcome to end stage capitalism, and everything sucks and nothing is new. When was the last time you saw a new iPhone? When was the last time toys were invented that were like dolls and children's toys? It's the same over and over and over and over and over.
Everything's the same. That's the thing about it. Everything looks exactly the same now. There's nothing new. There's nothing exciting. Everywhere is boring. And that's because of the infusion of AI, but also because, you know, we're in end-stage capitalism. I'd say that America is in a full corporate oligarchy at this point.
Yeah. So what do you think, Pablo? Can AI art ever be considered real art?
So there's been a lot of discussion these last couple of months. Actually, I don't know what company it was. I think it was Toei, like the anime, like business. They just made a conference saying that they are going to start using AI, but just for like storyboards and stuff. Do I think
storyboard artists are real artists too?
Absolutely.
I feel like if the end is, it's complicated for me, because I feel like whenever you're asking AI to make something for you, that is an art. But however, if you're doing your last tweaks, it may have some art in it. I feel like it's a similar conversation to letting someone or commissioning someone to do art for you in a way. However, that someone is a machine. So for me, it is not. I'm sure a lot of other people are going to say, oh, if this is just helping you, or if it's just a tool. But the thing is, AI or making art with AI is not a tool.
No.
Because a tool will be to use a pencil, a kind of pencil to make curls on your Procreate.
Right.
Maybe that could be, there's some kind of AI involved in that, I'm sure.
Yes.
Maybe it's just not called AI. That's a tool. But literally asking AI to make something from scratch to finish, let's say, is an artistic.
I think saying from scratch is giving it way more credit than it's due, because nothing it makes is from scratch.
Right. It's all just regurgitated from other people's real art. And I have an opinion on this, and it's obviously a very strong one. I do not think that a machine that cannot think can make art. And the reason I feel this way is because art is created from human experiences. I'm regurgitating my own information from earlier. It's based on a person's point of view, their experiences, and without the experience part, the art loses its meaning, its soulless, it's nothingness to me. And I have an example. It's a writing one from a thing that I wrote. I was writing a script and I was describing a character's home. And I had written this and I went back to read it like months later. And as I was reading it, I realized I was describing a childhood home. And this was a place the character's meant to feel safe in. This was like her comfort place, the one place she ever felt safe. And I just thought it was really interesting that I chose like essentially like a memory from my own personal experience to use in this art. And a computer cannot do that. It just can't do it. And it like imbues the art with so much more meaning when a person is using their own experiences to create.
Because you feel the emotion. Like that's why when you read a book, you cry. Like you know what I mean? Like you feel what the character's feeling because it's believable, because a person with feelings created it. My thing is like, okay, I think AI could be a tool, assuming it wasn't destroying the planet and using up all our water, and also assuming humans got, assuming the billionaire class using it were taxed for using it, and that tax was used to give everyone a universal basic income so we could live. That's my proposed solution.
Beautiful.
Assuming those two things, I can see using it to remove some menial work. Like if I'm a video maker, like I want to edit my YouTube videos, if it can auto cut like my mistakes and fix my lighting, like adjust lighting, and like the same with photos. Like when you take a photo and there's auto enhance, I think that's my use case.
Yeah. I
and
agree.
To do things like create you a grocery list. And like, I think that's okay. I think skipping to the end, having done nothing but writing a prompt. And the thing is, you don't even have to be good at writing prompts. Everyone always says, anyone who says, yeah, but I had to write the prompt and put in exactly the right words. Cool beans, you went to Reddit and like said, what kind of prompt should I... Or you asked ChatGPT how to give you a good prompt to put into this. Like, you're like, you're not an artist because you said, I would like a photo in Studio Ghibli style of a cat holding its child and looking out the window longingly. Like, that doesn't make you an artist.
No, I don't think so. And if you wanted that style and it plopped out not to your liking, you could just throw in another prompt and automatically, very quickly generate yourself another picture.
Yeah.
There's no real effort being put in.
That's not real.
Like, how many prompts can you throw into there in a minute?
Yeah, because I feel like based on what I was told, you can like give AI a lot of pictures based on what you want. So even if you had to look for those pictures, there's no effort there.
No.
Like it's maybe like, okay, I'm going to try to make a comparison to how you would commission someone to 3D make you something. Like my dolls, for example. I sent my sculptor a couple of reference pictures about how I wanted my doll to look like. But even when that first like sculpt was made, I had to take my input into how I wanted it to finish, how I wanted the factions and the overall look to be based on what I wanted. Because at the end of the day, just a couple of reference pictures isn't enough to make what you really want. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, I mean, I think that's the same thing as, like, I mean, okay, so, yes, you had, like, a lot of creative input on your dolls, I agree. However, I think it would be the equivalent if you sent the pictures and you said, okay, here's my input. It's the same as you saying you sculpted your doll, except But do you know what I mean? Like if you give pictures and you say, here are my references, here are my like fix this, and this. That is like collaborating with a sculptor to create a design to make a doll. When you do that to a machine, like, yeah, you can get the same, not the same output, but yeah, you can get an output, but it doesn't, number one, make the machine a sculptor, and it, number two, doesn't make you a sculptor by having put it in. And that's the problem, is the...
Exactly, because the machine isn't an artist. It's
No. And...
You know?
And the people using Gemini or ChatGPT or whatever it is to create whatever they want, and then calling themselves artists and saying it's a different medium is bullshit, because you're not an artist. So, fun thought. All of these are fun thoughts. So, something that is interesting, where I've kind of like complained about artists feeding their own art into the AI, which I think is less offensive. I think it's more stupid, but it's less offensive than feeding someone else's art into the AI.
I suppose.
I guess
You're
Yeah.
stealing
Your
from yourself, I guess. I don't know.
It's like sending your doll to Luo, you know?
But
Why would you do that?
But I have a question about that, though. If they're feeding their own art into the AI, aren't they just giving their art to the AI for training data, and then other people can steal their art?
Yes.
Is that how that works?
yes.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
they're just allowing other people to steal their art to make other AI slop art?
It's like sending your doll to a recaster and saying, yeah, you can try and make your own version of this. As long as you
Like,
make
Okay,
me
why
a
that's
do
cool
what
you-
I
one.
thought.
Make me a cool pink one, and you can do whatever you want with this. That is what you're doing.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Why
got
do
it,
you
got it.
think
Yeah,
now
that makes
AI
sense.
can make you a VGT head?
Yeah, they can make
Well,
Because a
you.
lot of
not a good
people
one.
send their photos to AI without maybe realizing, and now AI knows what a VGT is, how it should look like, what the insides should look like.
Yeah, I mean, it probably uses like Thingiverse files and stuff like
Probably.
as well. Like it's probably scraping that data as well. But it doesn't just scrape like actual artworks, unfortunately, for the AI. At this point, like, have you Googled anything recently and like looked for images?
It's impossible.
It's almost every other image is an AI generated image.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. It's
so
horrible.
now the AI is scraping its own images, and it's like there's a whole thing called the dead internet theory,
Yes.
which is really fascinating to me. Basically, that's the concept, is bots and like AI scraping itself and regurgitating itself until it's nonsense.
It already is moving in the nonsense direction.
Yes.
At least everything is always already sort of looking and feeling exactly the same. Like, I can pick a bot out because they all say the same thing. Like, if you're on Twitter, for example, and you're like scrolling through and it's like MAGA, 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 but all the MAGAs are saying the exact same like weird combination of words. And you're like, well, this has to be just bots regurgitating bot information. Like,
Yep.
it doesn't even feel real at this point anymore. Nothing feels real. And I think that that's the point of the dead internet theory. It's not real, it's not fun, and it's not gonna get better, probably gonna get worse.
We had the same thing actually. Like our last election, we called him Maple Mega, but our Timu Trump was also what we called this guy. Timu Trump. Was like, there was so much comments where it was always like PP for PM, which, first of all, if your guy's name is PP, like Pierre Polyev, maybe like, I don't know if why you're gonna go with PP for the name, but like, anyways, but like, it was like over and over and over, and it's like you go to like, you're like, let me just click this account, and you're like, wow, this is a bunch of AI throw up. Like, it's so obvious that they're bot accounts, and it's like, that's the exact thing. It's the same thing too, actually. An art example is real artists getting accused of being AI because they're good at what they do, or like I don't know, or have a style that the AI has vomited out so much that now their art style is like, it's like assumed AI. And like, I can look at a piece and be like, that looks like AI. And it's like, sometimes it's a real artist. I'm like, that sucks. Like, you have to get a new art style now because it just looks like you've been, and that sucks. Like, you shouldn't have to spend years curating an art style to then have it regurgitated. Like, you get popular enough to get regurgitated out, and now you're like, you can't make art without being accused of being like using AI. It's crazy.
AI.
You know
That's
where I think
horrifying.
that mostly happens? And this is something I've been thinking for months. Wow. I feel like one of the first places or businesses that started using AI was books.
Books?
The covers of the books.
Oh, maybe.
Illustrations.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So whenever I go to a bookstore, I'm always like, and this doesn't happen with all other businesses, but it's always the bookstores that I'm like, is this AI or not? Because I feel like there's no any regulation when it comes to that. So it's always
There
like,
isn't.
this kind of looks like this, but it may not be. What if I'm thinking it's AI and actually an actual illustrator made this, you know?
Yeah. It's well, usually there would be a credit to the illustrator if there is an actual book designer, like a cover designer. It's usually included. I know that because I watched a K-drama called Romance is a Bonus Book, and it taught me a lot about book cover creators and illustrators, and usually there would be a credit. So, you know, you can check for that. I think it's like a really good example of like dead internet and dead art is, I don't know if any of you have ventured to Instagram Reels. Have you ever gone over there?
I have, but it's like not where I spend my time, you know?
No, I don't spend my time there because I was like, one time TikTok wasn't working and my kids were like, can we watch TikTok? So I was like, all right, well, it's down, so let's go over to Instagram. And it's 90% like AI slop videos, either animals turning into Jesus in like really obscene ways,
Word.
or like
I've seen
the cat family, but it's always fat cat husband leaves them, so she eats a salad and looks in a mirror sadly, and now she is skinny cat, and now the other cat is so sorry he left her. Over and over and over and over. It's like, I don't know, like,
But this is an issue too. Like the algorithms, which are also AI-based programming, tells us what to watch. And because AI is so good at like creating the right SEO to like make the algorithm promote it, all of a sudden like people's actual real material isn't getting seen on the internet anymore, which then contributes to the dead internet theory and everything looking exactly the same and being exactly the same essentially.
it just clicked to me when you said that it's essentially the AI version of Elon Musk making himself the most important and viewed person on Twitter. Like, of course the AI doing the algorithm would be like, hey bestie, to like the AI works and be like, you the best. And like, that never even occurred to me that it's gonna go, that's good shit. Because it would think it's the best because it thinks it's the be all end all.
Correct.
That's crazy. I never even actually considered that angle, that the AI would think it was the best. So it's going to promote that over real people.
Right, and that's why everything's so boring. And that's also probably part of the reason why it's so hard to make YouTube videos at this point and get them to be seen.
I agree.
You're
That makes sense.
competing with AI. And you can't unless you're using AI yourself, which I'm never going to do because I want to make my own stuff. Like, I want to be a creator, not a regurgitator of garbage.
Another interesting thought on that is because the AI and the algorithms are going to push their own garbage to the top, how many people are going, this is what's popular? And then even the real people are now copying the garbage instead of doing anything interesting or original. And then the AI is scraping that and making worse garbage. It's not even the AI just scraping
That's exactly what's happening.
It's not even the AI just garbaging itself. It's people thinking that that's what's popular.
People garbaging.
And then garbaging. Ah!
That's what's happening. That's the dead internet theory. That's why everything looks the same and nothing feels real, because it's not.
This whole AI thing that's happening right now reminds me a lot of how popular this kind of like, do you know this website that has like a tons of videos that are very generic, that are like stock videos and stuff?
Oh, yeah, like, just stock video websites, like,
There was a time that everyone was making videos with all of those, like 1,000 videos of that. And yes, it's not the same, but it's giving the same feeling as when that started happening.
Yeah.
How that was not feeling like, I don't know how to describe it, but at the time, that
it feels lazy. It felt lazy.
Exactly.
Right.
I will say, however, before the internet and the AI started fucking that up, I'm swearing like anyways. Before they started messing it up, real people were taking those photos and getting paid to post them. So so at least it was like, yeah, it's like easier for people making content, but at least someone's getting paid for making that content in the first place. And that's just, it's completely just going like, we're paying nobody now. So like,
and that's part of the issue too, is like, obviously our art is being stolen and AI is not going away anytime soon.
Yeah.
Sorry, my dog is barking. Hey. I'll wait up to finish my point. This is what I get for keeping a roof over her head. Barking, ruining my time.
Wow.
This is what every single one of my YouTube videos is like too. Hey!
Tell her you're going to replace her with a robot dog.
I'm going to replace you with a robot dog. She listened, her little ear turned in my direction. I think she's finished. And I have no clue what I was saying.
You were saying about dev internet and I don't know.
Oh, people being paid for their work. Yeah. It's AI is not going away.
Agree.
People are having their art stolen. So the question is like, what do we do about that? And I realize like the ruling class, the billionaires that want to use this, the point is to not have to pay anybody, but that ethically doesn't sit great with me. And I'm assuming as it becomes more prevalent, it's not going to ethically sit well with other people. So how do we resolve that?
Yeah, I think like I first think that one thing that we're going to see from all this is I think we're going to see a lot of artists returning to traditional hand to clay, pen to paper, non-digital artworks as like a protest. I think that that's going to be a move. That's my prediction. But as far as like AI's not going anywhere, what is an actual maybe feasible solution to all this? Or like what's the compromise? Because I, like you, truly do not believe it's going to not be used. I think, number one, I think it needs, I have so many feelings about AI, not even just from a putting artists out of work standpoint. I'm just upset about it in general.
Generally, yeah.
And this doesn't really have to do with dolls specifically. Number one, I have massive safety concerns around AI. I think a lot of people use it nefariously. Even if they're not, they could use it to like make a recast or steal someone's art since there's 3D model AIs. But like on a human level, I think number one, it needs to have an encoded, non-removable watermark that you cannot take off. This is number one, so that you can't use it to create blackmail material of people, non-consensual material of people, but also so that we stop hopefully seeing older people or even younger people now being tricked into disinformation, because disinformation is a huge problem right now. And this is making it so much worse because people I don't know why people are allergic to fact checking, but even then, fact checking is going to get harder and harder as the internet fills up with more and more garbage.
Correct. It's already hard because like the first 5 like above the fold hits on Google are probably just AI articles.
Oh, yeah, the AI
That's the problem.
overview.
It's really hard.
That's wrong. It's
Oh,
always
right.
wrong. It's
It's always wrong. Oh my god, it's so bad. I don't know. Yeah, media literacy is really bad right now. I guess in other places too, because you're talking about it, but in America, it's like a garbage fire. Like, nobody knows what the fuck is going on ever. Because you hear something one day, it changes the next, you fact check it, you get 10 different answers. It's just like the information, like, factually is nowhere. And like the version of reality that people live in are so extremely different.
Yeah.
That it's just like, I feel like it's impossible to live in the world.
like, I'm with you. Like, I genuinely, like, I always try and understand people's point of views, but putting your fingers in your ears and going la 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 is not a point of view. It's cognitive dissonance. Like, I would tell you to Google it, but the first response will probably be wrong. So, like,
100%.
So besides this encoded watermark, I also think it should, on that note, I think ethically, legally, it should be unable to produce anything that involves human nudity. I think that should just be locked. That shouldn't be a feature available to anybody. I don't need to say why that needs to happen. I don't need to say why.
Right.
And I think, yeah, but it's like the human body isn't sexualized. It's like, yeah, but the pros do not outweigh the cons. Like, if you need a shitty AI slop art image of a naked body to, like, for whatever reason, that does not outweigh real women, children, men, real people being victimized. It does not outweigh it. So absolutely, I think that needs to be cut off.
Right.
And then also finally, besides the watermark, I think every AI image, video, text in that encoded watermark should be tied to a paid individual account. None of these AI services should be free. They should all be paid services, and the money that, like, is being generated needs to, number one, pay any dividends to, if it scrapes your art, you, number one, have to have consented to it.
I agree, 100%.
Because otherwise they can say, so that's the problem, is because they don't do that because why wouldn't they charge? And it's obviously, like, eventually they will, I think, but I think if they were charging for it, they could be sued by artists because now they're profiting off stolen art. And so by charging people, they can pay artists who have consented into the system. Number two, it will vastly drop the amount of AI slop that's being thrown out because people won't necessarily want to, if they're going to pay for it, they might as well just pay an artist for it.
Right.
And then number three, also, it keeps it accountable where if they're creating shitty, crappy materials, their name is attached to it. Like, and they can't get rid of it. So if you're going to be making that,
Beautiful.
Jail. Like, goodbye. And also the laws need to catch the hell up.
Well, isn't that a huge issue? I feel like the people who are making the laws are so far past their prime and, like, incapable of understanding the way the world is working at present. That can't happen until they are all gone. And I don't know how they go away. Maybe they just die off because most of them are that old at this point. But, like, until that happens, we are not getting any laws.
Well, I mean,
And they're
sort out the AI issue.
I feel like they're probably using AI.
Probably.
Oh, yeah, probably, because they can't do anything.
In Spain, we had, like, a really big thing. One of the political parties was starting to use AI generated pictures of the guys that are in the government right now, and they were using, like, fake stuff, and they were generated things about immigrants and stuff with AI things. So
it's giving Trump as the Pope. Like,
we have our own Trump. So, you know.
Everybody got one.
Yeah.
yeah.
Unfortunately. But yeah, I feel like how do we expect the people that made us be in this position to be the ones that take us from this position.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said that correctly, but I think it was understood.
No, I understood exactly what you meant, and that's what I mean. I do not know. I don't know.
So
it's always in the people like us, like all the weight of the issue is always put into us.
Always.
When it should be put into the people in power, actually.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think?
Right, because a single...
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, because a single human being only has so much power.
But we're not single human
beings.
beings.
Government, I know, but we'd have to all band together. All of us, everywhere.
I know.
To resolve this issue. And people are too busy being a cog in the wheel of American capitalism. I'm just kidding.
She's not kidding.
We would have to do it.
No, we're not kidding. I'm not kidding. Come for me.
No, I'm kidding about the capitalism part, but I'm not at the same time, because a lot of it is just like, I need to keep a roof over my head and I don't have as much time for the things that I would like to do. And, you know, it would be great if AI could come in and help me resolve that problem.
Yeah, so
here we are.
That's what I think is my best case scenario with all tech advances or whatever advances is it's the same as like so there's like futuristic movies, and in half of them we are promised a future in which the robots handle everything menial so that people can go into their passions, whether that's art or science, and we can progress humanity and make the world a better place. Mm-hmm. Or we can continue into this capitalist hellscape. And that the way I think that would go is, have you ever seen the movie Ready Player One? Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay.
Ooh. I do. I've heard of it.
Okay.
I've heard of it.
Watch it. But it's essentially, it wasn't made by robots. But it's the, like, long story short of it is a futuristic hellscape where corporations have basically destroyed the planet and people are working their asses off in order to just be able to spend a little time on this, like the metaverse, essentially. Like in a video game, they can put on with a headset so they can escape their reality, and that, like a voluntary matrix.
Real.
I watched the movie. I know what you're talking about.
And those are my outcomes. Long term, we either band together as people and stop letting people in power siphon all the resources to the top until they inevitably destroy the earth, or they destroy the earth. So
Ready Player One.
And they'll destroy all your dolls too, so.
Exactly.
Trump has already said maybe you don't get 30 dolls, maybe you get 1 or 2 dolls.
Oh, I did a whole video on that. I found out who the real Trump supporters were that watched my videos.
Yeah, I had a couple of those in my last one. They're like, I'm sorry we had to talk about politics. I was like, okay. Leave.
I mean, and they actually get mad when you tell them the facts. I'm like,
I know.
I'm literally just telling you how the tariffs are actually affecting people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not making up information or telling you something that isn't true.
I know.
It pisses me off. Like, I don't know if you remember whenever this whole Palestine thing, like it was a thing, you know? This whole war was starting and people were so against, like, I go to Instagram just to be on my own peace and I don't want to know. And it's like, I don't want to know about politics. And it's like, do you really think this is politics?
Those people have never seen Cabaret.
Do you think we're really discussing politics or human rights?
Everybody.
That's the question.
Everybody who hasn't. Pablo, have you seen Cabaret? The musical?
No.
Okay. Everyone who hasn't seen Cabaret, go watch Cabaret. I don't care. It should be available in your language. It's been done a bajillion times. Right now, go watch it. First of all, it's fantastic. It's amazing. But the whole point is that they're distracting you the whole time from what's going on. And there's a line where it says, well, that politics, that doesn't affect us. Like, why would I need to know that? And then it to be that the whole play, if you're not paying attention, you're not noticing it's Nazi Germany. Sorry for the spoilers, but I can spoil it for you and it will still knock your socks off, so.
Yep. I mean,
it's what that's truly what I feel has been going on this entire time. And the ones who are willfully avoiding politics, willfully avoiding talking about it, putting their fingers in their ears and not wanting to hear what doesn't confirm their own biases. Mm-hmm. I heard somebody say that if them, especially a younger Trump supporters and their grandfathers were in World War II, they'd be on opposite sides. And that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
History books are not going to be kind to you.
Not at all, no. It's just so, it really is just like the sort of blocking your ears, only believing what you want to believe thing that has me so concerned, because it's just like reality doesn't exist for these people. I actually had somebody say to me, there is no true reality at this point. This was a person that voted for Trump. Like, we live in two different realities. And I'm like, yeah, one real one and one fantasy.
I literally, my mom is not a Trump supporter, but she's very not at all. Let me clarify, nothing like that. She's very chill. But she's also Gen X. And so she said something I think it's in a way to understand older people. They're trying to rationalize why their parents are psychos, basically.
Right.
But she had said something like that. There's multiple realities. It's no, I understand that you're saying people can have two different outlooks on something, but facts are different. And she agreed with that. Yeah. She's like, yeah, you're right. There's not two realities as far as facts. This person did this. Proven. Fact. You can't say fake news to that. It's real. AI is hurting real artists. Fact. The tariffs are garbage. Fact.
Fact.
It's like saying that older people cannot understand about gay people and stuff, and it's because they come from a different generation.
That doesn't matter.
What kind of generation made you stupid? You know?
Well, I mean, maybe all the lead poisoning.
It's also just not their business. Maybe just let people live the way they want to live and don't worry about it. You worry about you. I mean, that's how I feel about most of these things. You have your life, I have mine. We can all live differently, and that's fine.
I've said that.
Even you're not trying to push it on me.
As an example, trans, for myself, this is for me, I'm not trying to hot water, trans people. I don't understand in the way that I am not transgender. I can't understand that feeling. However, I understand that is so real to them, and that is who they are. And even if I was I think it's wrong, which no. Even if in some reality I was wow, I don't think it's great. Cool, that's your opinion. Is it hurting you? Is it impacting you? Shut up. It's not doing anything to you.
Exactly. You don't need to worry about it because it's not about you.
No. And all of it is a distraction by the ruling class to separate people so that we're looking at each other pointing fingers and not at them.
Distraction.
I feel like every podcast I'm doing recently is just just ending in me being so mad at I'm just
I think also
society?
The fact that it's Pride Month. It's Pride Month there.
When we're yes,
yeah,
and when we're posting, it will still be Pride Month. Yeah.
It's we needed to talk about this.
It seems extra egregious right now. It's extra egregious.
Yeah.
But it's all egregious. But
by the way, happy Pride.
Happy Pride, everyone. Hey. I don't know. I guess from an art perspective, like, I just feel like I'm so like mad about it. I don't even know how to wrap this up because it's just like I'm so stressed about this in general because, like, on a very personal level, like, I am a full-time artist. It is what I do.
Right.
That livelihood is being extremely attacked, and unless something is done about it, I will not be able to make any money from any of my art. And now my old career path is dead because of AI.
It's also AI.
Because but the thing is, it's coming for you. It's coming for everybody.
Yeah.
If you support it, like if you support AI stealing artwork or music, you are feeding the machine that is coming for you. It just hasn't come yet. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And I feel like what's most scary is that whenever we talk about art thief or something, we always talk about something very specific. Just let's say, for example, recasting. It just affects beauty artists, but AI not only affects artists but affects everyone. Like any field of professionalism, any field of I don't know, many things. It touches everything, and it will touch us in a way that we didn't even allow, because even when we go to Google and Google something, as much as we don't like agree with AI, Google
It
just
forces it.
directs us to exactly.
It's forced.
I feel like that ties with what Amanda said, or you, Rosie, said about how AI is here to stay, but we somehow have to regulate it. And I feel like for now, the way that the way I would do it is I would just try to educate as much as possible. Even if that's not enough, that's what I'm able to do at the moment, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that even if, like you said, it's either coming for your job or it's affecting you somehow. And even if for some reason it never came for you, which I don't believe, unless you're like a physical laborer, maybe. But even then,
They could figure it out.
I'm
sure there's a way.
Even if the resource usage of AI is speed running the destruction of the planet and all the usage of fresh water, water is going to become a resource that people need. It already is, but it's going to become more and more scarce. And like, even if you think like, okay, well, it's okay because the AI can make my dolls. But if all the water is being used for cooling servers for AI, you need water for the production of basically everything. You need it to drink, but you also need it for the production of anything. How are they going to produce the dolls, the AI dolls that you so want, if there's water shortages everywhere? And also you might be dead. So like,
dehydration.
It's no joke. I get dehydration headaches all the time. So like, and I have water available.
I'm perpetually dehydrated. It's very bad.
I'm training for the future. That's what I'm going to say.
The way my body can continue on without any water is amazing, truly. But my opinion on this situation here with AI is that as a human being who has been a lifelong art lover and art maker, I still, at this point in time, can see through the AI slop. I don't see a product that has any soul or any life to it. And when I see something that has human connection in it, something that clearly comes from a person's experiences and views and, you know, heart and soul and skill, I appreciate that so much. And I tend, as far as the internet is concerned, to associate with that more often than the AI when it's possible. But I go seeking it out, like I look for it. So, I mean, for me, I just feel like, I mean, it's impossible to just be like, oh, just don't communicate with the AI because it's like there. But if we try hard enough, we can at least still find some good in the world by searching for the real human created art.
Yeah, that's look for the real art and support. That doesn't mean you have to purchase. It just means like show the algorithm that that's what you want, if nothing else.
Right.
If we're going to be living our lives based off algorithms, help the algorithm or push the algorithm in a direction that supports real people and not algorithms for corporations.
Exactly.
Okay, let's all go cry. Like, I think I'm gonna go
also
stare
feel
out
like-
the window for a while.
I feel like
Oh,
Amanda's
yeah.
soul has been cleared because she doesn't sound robotic and doesn't sound like she's been possessed by AI anymore.
I've given up my robot internals and I've become a human. That's what this podcast did for me. It can do it for you too,
was
just
like-
by watching.
It was like an exorcism of the AI. Like
Yes.
we
gone.
power the power of art compels you, and the AI left, and we did it. We're good, and you can do
And now
it
we
too.
can start an anti-AI cult. The end.
Oh my god. Yes. All right. Well, the anti-AI cult begins here. Join us.
The call.
Not to be associated with cults.
Right. It's not a cult.
It's singular. No, it's not with. It is a cult, but not with cults like the company making AI doll heads.
Right, of course.
Let's just call ourselves a gathering or something. We'll give ourselves a different name.
Yeah, I think cult has a bad connotation. It's something else.
Let us know what you think we should call our coalition.
Anti-AI cult.
In the comments below. And also, we would love to hear any thoughts you have, your opinions. Keep them respectful. But we would love to continue the conversation down in the chats. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say about this at this point. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
If we're anything, we are uplifting. So, well, it's kind of uplifting.
I had so much fun.
And so-
I feel like I've never been as active as today in a podcast.
Yes.
So, you know,
When you're passionate about
I did it.
That's that human art, Pablo. When humans are passionate and have feeling, we can put so much into it and
Exactly.
yeah. And this is it. This is the proof in the pudding. But
I've been healed too.
I also feel healed. I feel like I'm free. I'm free another day from the possession of the AI. Wow.
I'm going to do like in these churches where people like fall into the floor because they've been like healed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. No. But yeah, if you also had fun watching this video, or if it was thought-provoking for you, if you too feel healed from the curse of the AI, make sure you like and subscribe. Help us fight the algorithm. Help support real artists. Also, check out Amanda and Pablo's YouTube pages. They both post, and they are both fantastic. So, yeah. Share the love, basically.
And you can share the video too.
I'm Rosie.
And I'm Pablo.
And I'm Amanda.
Keep practicing, keep electing, and keep those joints a little loose. And remember,
Life is more fun when you're a little unhinged.
Bye!